Imagine a car that's been a household name in Pakistan for decades, the Suzuki Cultus. Now picture the same car, but with a futuristic twist. It's fully electric with no fuel stops, no oil changes, and zero engine noise. Today, we bring you the full test drive experience of the Electric Cultus, a hatchback that promises up to 300 kilometers on a single charge. Let's dive in and see if it really delivers on the hype. The very first moment I started driving, one thing stood out: the silence. No rumbling engine, no vibration, just the soft hum of the electric motor. It feels almost like gliding on the road, smooth and effortless. For those who have driven the traditional Cultus before, the electric version still feels familiar in size and handling, but the performance is on another level altogether. When it comes to acceleration, the Electric Cultus doesn't disappoint. From 0 to 60 kilometers per hour, it picks up speed quickly, making it perfect for city traffic where quick responsiveness is key. There are no gears to shift, no engine lag, just instant torque at your command. On our test drive, we tried both city roads packed with traffic and open highways, and in both scenarios, the Cultus performed consistently well. Now, let's talk about the most important feature everyone wants to know about: the range. On a full charge, this Electric Cultus can travel up to 300 kilometers, which is more than enough for most daily commutes. If your routine covers 30 to 40 kilometers a day, that means you'll only need to charge the car once or twice a week. Charging at home is also super convenient. Just like plugging in your phone at night, you plug in your car, and by morning it's ready to go. Inside the car, things are kept simple but practical. The dashboard features a digital display that shows your remaining battery, estimated range, and power usage in real time. During our drive, we tested the AC and the infotainment system to see if they drained the battery significantly, but to our surprise, the range stayed steady. The system is well optimized to balance comfort with efficiency. Another big advantage of owning the Electric Cultus is the low maintenance. Forget about oil changes, spark plugs, or radiator problems. With fewer moving parts compared to a petrol engine, the running cost of this EV is drastically lower. All you really need are routine battery checks and tire maintenance. One of the most exciting parts of the test drive was switching between Eco mode and Sport mode. In Eco mode, the car focuses on conserving energy, giving you the maximum possible range. In Sport mode, however, the throttle response becomes sharper and the car feels much faster, perfect for when you want a little extra thrill. By the time our test drive ended, one thing was clear: the Electric Cultus isn't just an experimental idea, it's a practical, real-world solution for everyday driving. In a country where fuel prices continue to climb, an EV like this can truly be a game-changer, saving money while also being eco-friendly. Now let's dive deeper into the charging experience, which is often the biggest concern for new EV buyers. The Electric Cultus can be charged using a standard home outlet, which means you don't need expensive equipment to get started. With a regular charger, it can take around 6 to 8 hours to fully recharge the battery, making overnight charging the most convenient option. For those who want faster results, a dedicated fast charger can cut the charging time nearly in half. Imagine coming home after a long day, plugging in your car just like a smartphone, and waking up the next morning with a full tank of energy ready for the day ahead. When we compared the cost of charging versus fueling a petrol Cultus, the numbers were eye-opening. On average, a full charge costs only a fraction of what you would spend filling up your fuel tank. Driving 300 kilometers on electricity is nearly 3 to 4 times cheaper than driving the same distance on petrol. For people who use their cars daily for work, family, or business, the monthly savings alone make a huge difference. Over the course of a year, you could save tens of thousands of rupees just by switching to electric. Another interesting aspect is the environmental benefit. Traditional petrol engines release harmful emissions every time they run, adding to air pollution and climate change. The Electric Cultus, however, produces zero tailpipe emissions. For crowded cities like Karachi, Lahore, or Islamabad, where smog and air quality are constant issues, the wide adoption of electric cars could bring noticeable improvement in the environment and public health. Now, let's talk about driving feel and comfort. The suspension of the Electric Cultus has been tuned to handle city roads as well as highways. Speed breakers, potholes, and uneven surfaces are handled smoothly. Unlike older petrol versions where the engine noise could sometimes overpower the cabin, the electric version offers a calm, quiet atmosphere inside. This makes long drives far more relaxing. The instant torque of the electric motor also adds a fun element. You press the accelerator, and the car responds instantly, no waiting, no lag. We also notice that the battery management system plays a big role in maintaining performance. Even after driving for over 200 kilometers during testing, the car still had ample charge left and the performance didn't drop. That's an important detail because some cheaper EVs tend to lose efficiency as the battery drains. The Electric Cultus, however, remained consistent throughout. When comparing the interior and features with the petrol Cultus, the electric version doesn't look drastically different, which is a good thing for drivers who like familiarity. The seats are comfortable, the cabin feels spacious enough for a small family, and the dashboard is clean and modern. The digital cluster showing real-time battery status and range is one of the most useful features. It gives drivers confidence and eliminates range anxiety. Of course, no car is perfect. So, what are the cons of the Electric Cultus? Firstly, the initial purchase price is higher than the petrol variant. That's expected with EVs because of the expensive battery packs. Secondly, while charging at home is convenient, the lack of widespread public charging stations in Pakistan can be a limitation for long-distance travelers. This means the Electric Cultus is currently best suited for city use rather than cross-country trips. Finally, battery replacement after several years could be costly, although most EVs come with long battery warranties to cover that concern. On the positive side, the pros far outweigh the cons. With drastically lower running costs, minimal maintenance, and smooth, silent performance, the Electric Cultus is proving to be a smart investment. For small families, professionals, and daily commuters, it's an ideal solution that combines practicality with modern technology. Looking ahead, the future of EVs in Pakistan is bright. With fuel prices continuously rising and government policies slowly shifting toward clean energy, cars like the Electric Cultus could soon become mainstream. Imagine entire neighborhoods where charging stations are as common as petrol pumps today. Imagine cleaner air in cities, lower fuel imports, and a stronger local auto industry producing affordable EVs for the masses. The Electric Cultus is not just a car. It's a symbol of this future. The Suzuki Cultus has always been a household name in Pakistan, from students learning their first drive to families relying on it for daily commuting. This hatchback has been part of millions of lives for decades. Known for its compact size, affordability, and ease of driving, the Cultus quickly became one of the most trusted names on the road. But as times change, so do the needs of drivers. Rising petrol prices, increasing pollution, and a global shift toward clean energy have created the perfect opportunity to reinvent this classic car. And that's where the Electric Cultus steps in. It's not just a vehicle. It's a transformation of a legacy car into a symbol of the future. Why does going electric make sense today? Let's take a closer look. Fuel prices have skyrocketed in recent years, and for an average Pakistani household, petrol is one of the biggest monthly expenses. In comparison, electricity is far cheaper and more predictable. Driving an EV like the Electric Cultus can reduce running costs by 70 to 80%, which is no small saving. On top of that, climate change and pollution have become urgent issues worldwide. Cities like Lahore and Karachi frequently make headlines for poor air quality. Electric cars don't produce harmful emissions, making them a cleaner choice for everyone. For drivers, it's not just about saving money. It's about investing in a healthier future. Now, let's return to the test drive experience, because that's where the Electric Cultus really shines. As soon as you sit behind the wheel, the difference is obvious. There's no ignition sound, no vibration, just a simple push of a button, and the car is ready. Moving through city traffic feels effortless thanks to the instant torque from the electric motor. The car responds immediately to acceleration, which makes overtaking and navigating traffic smooth and stress-free. On highways, it maintains speed confidently, without the strain you sometimes feel in smaller petrol cars. What impressed me the most is the balance. Despite being lightweight, the car felt stable even at higher speeds. The 300 kilometers range is where things get even more interesting. For context, most daily commuters in Pakistan drive between 30 and 50 kilometers a day. With a 300 kilometers battery, this means you could comfortably drive for almost a week without needing to recharge. During the test, we deliberately pushed the car through various conditions, city traffic, long stretches of highway, even hilly roads, and the battery performed consistently. The digital display inside the cabin kept us informed of the remaining range, giving complete confidence throughout the journey. This eliminates what people often call range anxiety, the fear of running out of battery midway. Charging is simple and practical. With a standard home socket, the car charges fully overnight. Think about it. Instead of wasting time at petrol stations, you plug your car in at night and wake up to a full charge every morning. For people who want faster charging, dedicated EV chargers can reduce the time significantly. While Pakistan's charging infrastructure is still in its early stages, more private companies and even housing societies are beginning to set up EV charging points. It's only a matter of time before charging stations become as common as fuel pumps. When it comes to the interior and comfort, the Electric Cultus doesn't try to reinvent the wheel, but instead improves on what already worked. The seats are supportive, the cabin is spacious enough for a small family, and the dashboard layout is clean and modern. The standout feature is a digital instrument cluster, which provides live feedback on battery usage, efficiency, and distance left. This smart system allows drivers to adjust their driving style for maximum range. For example, switching to eco mode helps conserve battery by limiting power output, while sport mode gives an extra punch of acceleration when needed. During the test, switching between these modes was seamless and fun. It almost felt like driving two different cars in one. Of course, no review is complete without comparing costs. Let's break it down. Suppose you drive 1,000 kilometers a month. With a petrol Cultus, that could easily cost 25,000 to 30,000 rupees in fuel, depending on current prices. With the Electric Cultus, charging the same distance at home might cost less than 7,000 rupees. That's a huge difference. Over the course of a year, the savings can cover a significant portion of household expenses, or even help repay the initial cost of the car. Add in the fact that electric vehicles require almost no oil changes, spark plug replacements, or radiator services, and the long-term savings become even more appealing. But what about the future of EVs in Pakistan? This is where the Electric Cultus could play a pioneering role. As more people adopt EVs, demand will push the development of charging networks across cities. Already, several startups and companies are investing in charging solutions. The government is also slowly recognizing the importance of EV adoption to reduce fuel imports and pollution. Imagine a Pakistan where most cars run silently on clean energy, where families save thousands every month, and where our cities breathe fresher air. The Electric Cultus is a step toward that future, a small car with a big vision. The Suzuki Cultus has been one of the most recognized hatchbacks in Pakistan's auto history. Since its launch, it has built a reputation for being reliable, affordable, and easy to maintain. From office workers to students, from small families to first-time buyers, Cultus became a car that everyone could relate to. Its compact size made it perfect for narrow city streets, while its fuel efficiency made it lighter on the pocket compared to larger cars. Over the years, countless people have learned to drive in a Cultus, traveled across cities, and created memories in it. But as the world began moving toward electrification, the traditional petrol Cultus faced a challenge. Could this beloved car transform itself for the future? The answer came in the form of the Electric Cultus, a modern version of a classic, designed to carry the same legacy, but in a completely new way. Why electrification was needed? The push toward an Electric Cultus was not just about following trends. It was about solving real problems. Pakistan's fuel dependency has always been high, and with petrol prices rising almost every few months, owning a car became more expensive than ever for an average middle-class family. Commuting to work, dropping kids to school, and running daily errands often consumed a huge chunk of their monthly budget. Add to that the growing issue of environmental pollution, smog-filled cities, unhealthy air quality, and global warnings about climate change. The situation demanded a solution that was both economical and eco-friendly. The Electrification was a natural step forward. By converting a trusted model like Cultus into an EV, manufacturers created something that not only addresses cost concerns, but also paves the way for a cleaner future. The test drive experience. Driving the Electric Cultus feels like stepping into a new world while still holding on to the comfort of the familiar. When you start the car, there's no roar of an engine, no shaking dashboard, just a quiet readiness. The first push of the accelerator surprises you. Instead of the slow buildup of speed you might expect from a small hatchback, the car leaps forward instantly, thanks to the torque of its electric motor. Navigating through congested traffic feels effortless because there's no need to shift gears, no delay in acceleration, just smooth, continuous power delivery. On open highways, the car holds steady, cruising comfortably at higher speeds without strain. Even on uneven or bumpy roads, the suspension manages well, keeping the ride comfortable for both the driver and passengers. For city dwellers, this ease of driving alone makes the Electric Cultus a game changer. The 300 kilometers range explained. One of the most talked about features of the Electric Cultus is its 300 kilometers range on a single charge. To put that into perspective, imagine driving from Lahore to Islamabad with just one charge, or covering an entire week of city commutes without needing to recharge at all. During our testing, the range held true, even with air conditioning and infotainment systems running. The smart digital display inside the car constantly updates you with the remaining kilometers, which eliminates the stress of running out of power midway. For people who travel 30 to 40 kilometers daily, a full charge easily lasts several days. And because charging can be done at home, you're essentially starting every morning with a full tank without ever needing to stop at a petrol station. Charging and cost savings. Now let's talk numbers, because that's where EVs like the Electric Cultus truly shine. Charging the car fully at home costs only a fraction of what it would take to fill a petrol tank. Driving 300 kilometers on electricity costs almost 3 to 4 times less than doing the same on fuel. Imagine saving thousands of rupees every single month, money that could be redirected to other household needs. And it's not just fuel savings. Electric cars have fewer moving parts, which means almost no engine maintenance. No oil changes, no spark plugs, no radiator issues. The only regular checks are tires and brakes, and of course, the battery health, which usually lasts for years under warranty. For a country where maintenance costs often scare people away from car ownership, the Electric Cultus offers peace of mind and long-term affordability. Pros and cons of the Electric Cultus. No review is complete without weighing the pros and cons. On the positive side, the Electric Cultus offers affordability in running costs, impressive range, eco-friendliness, and a smooth driving experience. It's a perfect choice for urban drivers, small families, and anyone who wants to step into the future of mobility. On the downside, the initial purchase price is higher than the petrol version because of the expensive battery packs. Additionally, while charging at home is convenient, the lack of widespread public charging stations in Pakistan still poses a challenge for long-distance travel. Finally, after several years, battery replacement could be costly, though most EV manufacturers provide extended warranties to ease these concerns. The future of EVs in Pakistan. Looking ahead, the Electric Cultus represents more than just one car. It symbolizes a direction Pakistan's auto industry can take. As the government begins to encourage clean energy and companies start investing in EV infrastructure, the road is slowly being paved for mass adoption. Within a few years, we could see entire neighborhoods with EV chargers, office parking spaces equipped with charging points, and highways dotted with fast charging stations. This shift would not only reduce our dependency on imported fuel, but also create new opportunities for local businesses and job growth in the EV sector. Most importantly, it would mean cleaner air, quieter streets, and a healthier environment for future generations. The Electric Cultus, in this sense, is not just transportation. It's a vision of a better tomorrow. Final conclusion. The Electric Cultus is more than just a car. It's a turning point. It shows us that the future of driving in Pakistan doesn't have to rely on expensive fuel or outdated technology. With its 300 kilometers range, affordable charging, smooth performance, and eco-friendly design, it's a glimpse into a tomorrow where cars are cleaner, quieter, and cheaper to run. Yes, challenges like charging infrastructure and high upfront costs remain, but every revolution starts with a first step, and the Electric Cultus is that step. For decades, the Cultus has been a companion to countless Pakistani families. Now, in its electric form, it continues that journey into a new era, one where innovation meets practicality, and where driving becomes not just a necessity, but a smarter choice for both people and the planet.